Hey you guys, welcome to Crafting with Julia. I'm Julia and I'm so glad you tuned in today. If you enjoy my videos, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell so you can be notified of all my newly released videos. Also, feel free to follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I invite you to join my Facebook group called Crafting with Julia's Creative Community, where you can be part of my crafting family. All of these links are in the description below this video. In today's video, I'm going to share how to make shabby chic home decor using drop cloth and denim. This project is not only adorable, but is easy and inexpensive. So I was watching a YouTube video by Teresa over at Our Green Acres. She is a fabulous, fabulous crafter. She's one of my favorites. I'm going to leave a link to her channel in the description below. Anyway, I was watching her video and she did this sack that I thought was just so adorable. I wanted to copy it. And I'm taking her dimensions. Her dimensions are, it's out of a drop cloth, and the dimensions is 13 inches by 8.5 inches. And what you do first is you cut your drop cloth and sew a seam down the edges, and actually, I'm sorry, you fold it over, sew a seam up the edges, and then run it through the washer and dryer. Now when it comes out, it's going to be a hairy mess. You'll see a lot of these long strands all over. So you just want to give it a little trim. And the reason why you sew it first is because it will stop it from fraying. Now I wanted that, that shabby look, that frayed look, so I left it like that, and I am not going to turn it inside out. But if you don't want that look, you can very easily turn it inside out and you'll have a nice seam. But anyway, I want that look. So what she did, she stamped an image to her sack. And I did that using Iron Orchid Design stamps. And that's what it looks like. But I also want to use this transfer paper. Now I bought this transfer artist paper, and this is for transferring any image that you get on the internet, anything that you can print with your printer. So what I did was I found this image on Pinterest. It's for sunflowers. And if you're going to be using this technique, you have to print the image on the reverse side, so it's backwards, because when you lay it down to iron it onto your fabric, you want it to come out right side up. So there's instructions that come with it. I got this from Amazon. I will leave a link in my description if you're interested in purchasing that. But anyway, so what you do is you print it on your printer, reverse the image, and now we're going to, I want to cut it out as much as I can. I'm going to cut the image out. And my iron is nice and hot. I'm going to put a piece of cardboard in the sack just in case. I'm not really sure if it's going to go through. So I'm going to take my image, I'm going to make sure it's lined up. That's probably where I want it. Let's just measure that it's in the middle. So it's 8.5. So yeah, that should be the middle. Okay, so I want it right there. So I'm going to take my hot iron and I am just going to put it over the image and iron it. you want to lift it up very carefully. You want to make sure that it's heating through. Every once in a while, give it a little lift. Make sure that your image is being transferred. So, this is what it looks like. Now, let me tell you, it took a very long time to iron that on. So, you keep the iron on it, just making sure you don't burn your fabric. But it takes a very long time. And what you do is you keep peeling away at the edge to see if it's taking to the fabric. And if it's not, put it back and put the iron back on. But just keep doing it, and it eventually does work. And it's a very cool product. It just takes a very long time to get that ironed on. I love working with drop cloth. It's my new favorite thing to do. It's inexpensive, and there's so many things you can do with it. When you're into the whole farmhouse, shabby chic look, drop cloth is the way to go. So how I made these drop cloth flowers is I cut a circle, a 7-inch circle on drop cloth, and I cut the flower out, and then I ran it through the wash machine and the dryer. Now, when it comes out of the dryer, it is going to be a hairy mess. You're going to have to cut off all the long fibers. So I did the best I could, but I want to leave the ragged edges. So that's how I did the drop cloth. In the middle of the flower, I'm going to put denim. So let me show you how I did that. So we're going to take our 7-inch circle, and we're going to trace it on the denim. That's why you should never throw out your old jeans. You could use them for fabric. All right, so we're going to cut out the circle. Okay, once we have our circle, we are going to fold it in half again, and fold it in half again. Okay, so it's going to look like that. And now we're just going to make a curve to make the petal for the flower. So just cut out a little curve. Like that, and when you open it up, you will have your flower. Okay, simple as that. So now I want to fray the edges. So I have this little cool tool. It's for fraying fabric and paper. It's by Tim Holtz. I will leave a link to it in the description below, but this is very cool. So you want to take your fabric, and it looks like a, I don't know if you can see, it looks like a little rake, and you're just going to rake the edges of your fabric. You see how it frays? This This is just to give it that old, worn look. Okay, so now I have a nice frayed look to my flower. Now I'm ready to cut the centers of my flower. That I cut with a 3.5 inch circle. So the centers of my flower are 3.5 inches. All right, so I cut this one already. That's what I used for my template, and I already frayed the edges. See how you can see how they're nice and frayed. So this will go in the center like that, and then we'll put this on like that. So now I'm going to grab some embroidery thread, and I'm ready to sew the center on. So I'm only going to sew it onto the first flower. I'm going to put it right in the center, and then from the back I'm just going to run a stitch around the center of the flower. Now, before you get to the end, you're going to leave a little opening because that's where you want to put some stuff in. So you want to take a little polyfill and you're going to put it in the center of the flower just to bump it out a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit, just to give it a little dimension. Okay, so we have our first level of the flower. Now we're going to take the flower and glue it to the denim. Okay, so that's glued to the denim. And now we're going to, before we glue the bottom on, we're going to take the dowel. Now I used, this is a 12-inch dowel, and the diameter is 1/2 inch. And I get these on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. So I want to stagger it, so I cut one at 12 inches one at 11 inches and one at 10 inches because I want to stagger the flowers. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue. Oh, and also, I'm sorry, I stained them with Folk Art Home Decor wax, antiquing wax. So that's, I took the dowel and I stained it first. And so now we're going to glue it onto our flower. And we have our flower. Now I need to put a little bit more glue so that the flower stays up. There we go. And that's our finished flower. I am using this can. This is a 28-ounce can, which is going to fit inside the sack. And I am going to put some styrofoam, which I got at Dollar Tree. I'm going to put that in the bottom of the can. I'm going to glue that to the bottom. Okay, and then I'm going to put my can in the sack. Okay, so that's how it looks. Okay, and now I'm going to take my flowers that I made with the drop cloths, and I'm going to put them into the styrofoam. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the end. And we're going to put them in the can. Okay, that's one. So using some rope, I'm going to tie the rope around the sack. Okay, and there's our little sack of flowers. And last but not least, I made these little crows to go in with the sunflowers. So I made this one out of drop cloth, and I did not paint it. And then this one I made out of also drop cloth, and I painted it black. So these are my patterns for the crows. I will leave a link to the PDF file in the description if you care to make these. I also have the pattern for wings. I did not use the wings, but the pattern is there if you choose to use it. So I am just going to take some wire, put it through the bottom, put a little glue in there so it stays. Some glue on the bottom, and then just stick it into the styrofoam. Like that. So that's how our curl looks on that one. And then do the same thing with the black one. A little glue. It's hard to see with the black. There we go. So I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to put it in the styrofoam. And that's how our black one looks. Okay, all ready for the fall. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again real soon. Happy crafting!